What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Yes, the Truth rocket launcher from Destiny 1 has returned, and it is back and better than ever. Outside of the very rare occasion when a Titan is wearing anti-swords in Crucible against 3 Guardians who are standing still just for the sake of making an intro to a video, this weapon will destroy your opponents in PvP. The question becomes, would you want to use this over other power weapons, but more importantly, would you want to use this over other exotics for PvP? Yes, this thing is amazing for a power weapon, but is that more useful than having something like a kinetic or an energy weapon that you're using much more often? We'll jump into that here. I myself find this to be an amazing weapon, not just because it has the prototype True Seeker, which is awesome tracking, but mainly because of this, the grenades and horseshoes. The fact that this thing has proximity sets it apart from any other rocket launcher in the game, not to mention the fact that it also has 3 shots per magazine. So this thing is super good, super fun to use, easy to use, but the question becomes, do you want to use it over other choices? So we're going to jump into that. We're going to delve into that in this video. If this video is helpful, guys, make sure you drop a like. Also, it would be super cool to subscribe and come back to the channel. I love seeing you guys here in the comments, and even better, over in the live stream. So let's jump right into it. Truth rocket launcher, is it worth using? Here we go. We all know that the Truth rocket launcher has some amazing tracking capabilities, and indeed you can make some cool shots here with this thing, trick shots that can fly around the map and take cool angles, and it is useful, no doubt about it. But because of the design of Crucible maps, it might not be as useful as you think. Nowhere near as good as the proximity is, in my opinion. Beyond that too, if you look at other rocket launchers that have tracking, so a weapon like the curated Bad Omens, the tracking for this, while nowhere near as good as Truth, it is still pretty serviceable. And for that reason, I really can't say that Truth is incredibly good or what you want to use because of the exotic perk that it has. This thing still tracks, nowhere near as well or as aggressive, but it still tracks decently. And as you can see here from a couple tests that we did in PvP, the tracking for this, you can get pretty close and it'll still work. You can get a decent bit away and the tracking will still work. And you can get actually pretty far away and the tracking will still work. So again, not anywhere near in the same ballpark as Truth, but when you're looking at just the overall functionality of tracking rocket launchers as they exist, they are still somewhat serviceable and comparable to what Truth offers. But none of them have the proximity, and that is where this rocket launcher truly shines.
Another lander turned to scrap.
Alright, Ghost, well, hey, thanks for that segue. Right now we're going to look at the lack of proximity on a weapon like Bad Omens. We just saw how the tracking did really well, but with this, no proximity means that a rocket is going to fly right past your opponent. This is going to miss every time, and you're not going to get killed because of that. Not the same thing here with Truth. With Truth, when you look at the proximity on this, you're going to be getting kills very, very easily with this. And the fact that you have 3 shots means that you're going to be able to get a lot of kills with this if you can rally to that heavy ammo and get it. The horseshoes and hand grenades, in my opinion, is what makes this thing truly, truly unique and special and worth using in Crucible. Alright, so we looked at Truth with regards to the tracking and the proximity. We did some basic comparisons to a weapon like Bad Omens. But the big question is, do you want to use your exotic weapon on Truth versus other power weapons and versus other exotic weapons in the energy weapon slot and kinetics? So looking here at the power weapons, yes, there are some really good things you can choose from. Warcliffe is the go-to for a lot of players. You can look at the colony that used to dominate in year 1. These weapons, in my opinion, while amazing, are not quite as user-friendly as Truth is. You're not going to kill yourself as many times as you do with the Warcliffe coil. This just has a really easy style to it, and you can almost kind of set it and forget it and get kills with this thing no problem. 3 in the magazine. If you're rocking things like Rocket Launcher Reserves, Rocket Launcher Scavenger, you can have 3 shots on this thing really easily, and you're almost guaranteed to get 2 or 3 kills with those 3 shots. It's just an easy weapon to use, and for that reason I think you're going to see a lot of players using this in PvP. When you look at things like Gambit, I know there's weapons that used to dominate like Sleeper. The Queen Breaker is a weapon that people like to use. I know that machine guns are also popular, but the same thing applies here for Gambit. Truth is just easy to use, and that's why you're going to see players using it, and that's not a bad thing. I think this is an awesome weapon to use for that reason. The bigger question, the bigger dilemma comes from the energy weapon slot and the kinetic slot, and there are some really good weapons here that you're going to have to give up. So things like the newly acquired Outbreak Perfected. This weapon is awesome in PvP, and you're going to have to put that on the shelf. Things like Suros Regime, which is really good. I've used it a lot recently trying to get the Catalyst upgraded. That's an awesome weapon to use. Arbalist dominates as well. You're going to have to put all these weapons on the back burner if you want to use Truth. I still think it's worthwhile though, because there are some really good kinetic weapons here that do really well. Things like Bygones, things like the Marine. I know I probably use this way more than most players, but this is a weapon here that you can use and use effectively, and that will not compromise the fact that you're using Truth. Same thing here for the energy weapon slot. There's some awesome shotguns here. The Recluse dominates. We know how effective that can be in PvP. And yes, while it may be difficult to put down weapons that you've been using a lot lately, like maybe the Jotun fusion rifle, we know how good that is. Wave Splitter, these things are awesome in PvP. But I still think that there are good options there you can use in their place. And the Truth rocket launcher is just super fun to use. So, in my opinion, do not be surprised if you get killed by this a lot in Crucible. I know I will be. I know I'm looking forward to it because I know I'm going to be using it as well and just having fun time with this thing. It's awesome that it's back. I'm super excited. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you're happy this is back. Let me know, too, which weapon you want to see return. We've gotten a lot of D1 exotics come back. Does this mean we're going to see things like maybe Galahorn or the Vex or other weapons that or just as iconic, just as fun to use? Let me know in the comments which ones you guys want to see return that haven't yet returned into this awesome game. Thank you all so much for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Catch you guys in Crucible, catch you guys in live streams, and have a great day. See you guys.